Diet Coke, just as bad as this, or just as good as water? Let's find out. So this is a video that I wanted to make for a long time for a number of reasons. One being that I am an avid Diet Coke drinker. Used to drink this, don't drink it so much, actually don't like it so much. I'll touch a little bit on that. And so sometimes I have been known to get through multiple cans of this a day. Generally speaking, maybe a couple of cans, 3, 4 cans in the week, depending on, I'd probably say five cans a week. Of Diet Coke. So I wanted to know if it was actually doing me any good or bad. So there's a couple of categories that we're going to class this into in terms of what's bad, what's good, and ultimately that's where we're going to go with this video. So let's think about this from a perspective of what is Diet Coke bad for you? Well, firstly, if we're trying to determine if Diet Coke is bad for you, we need to identify what bad means. I think something that is bad for you is essentially something that's detrimental to your health versus the convenience or enjoyment of having something. So, for example, a can of Diet Coke, is that going to shorten, if that's going to shorten your life, which it isn't, by 25 years, versus some enjoyment on a daily basis, then absolutely it's got to be a negative trade-off. Having said that, for those individuals that smoke or smoke excessively, it's quite clear that there is a linkage between cancer and other chronic heart problems and heart disease for those that smoke, and so it can severely shorten your length of time, so you have to consider whether that trade-off is worth it, because it can knock your life short by 10, 20, 30 years or more. So that's what we're talking about. You know, everything in moderation, or most things in moderation, can be deemed to be good. But when we look at Diet Coke specifically a little further, I suppose it's also important to say that for every single element or most elements out there, in a certain dosage are not going to be good for you. So if we take the example of zinc, zinc is an element within your body that helps promote the immune system. So 8 milligrams a day is recommended daily intake. Don't quote me on that, I'm pretty sure that that's right though. And so that helps your body perform its natural immune systems. However, in doses above 225 milligrams, zinc can affect different regulatory processes in your body, such as the uptake of copper and other elements, which can have a negative impact and can be linked to death, particularly in and above those dosages. So things like potassium and sodium that regulate waterways and sodium channels within your body can impact on water retention in your body and can make you feel hydrated, and in extreme doses, things like potassium found naturally in bananas can kill you. So it's important to put things into context, what we're talking about here. Now, if we are taking a look at Diet Coke in particular, one of the things that we need to look at is what is actually in Diet Coke. Now, on a case-by-case basis, each element must, in its individual nature and also in a combination of these elements, have a detrimental impact or be bad to you, as we've previously discussed. So we're looking at carbonated water, and we'll talk a little bit about that later with our teeth. We're looking at colouring, sweeteners, natural flavourings including caffeine, phosphoric acid, citric acid and a source of phenylalanine. Now it's important to say, and I'll come back to this later, there is 1 calorie in this. So when we look at our macronutrients, we are looking at 0 protein, 0 fat, 0 carbohydrates and 0 sugars. So there's basically nothing in this. However, when we look at certain elements within the Diet Coke can, you've also got to remember they are contained within many products that you would consume on a daily basis that you would not think necessarily are harmful for yourself unless you have certain conditions. Phenylalanine being a key one of those products, which you will often probably find in your in milk, which for us English people, we often drink in our tea, or for Americans, maybe you use more in your milkshakes, or you use more in your cereal. So these elements are found in amongst a number of different products. However, within this product get tarnished as particularly bad, which I think is unfair. Now, moving on to what I deem to be really the ultimate benefit of Diet Coke is that it contains, as I mentioned, 0 calories. The effect that it can have on your gnashers or your dentist may also be deemed to be a negative side point of this, but actually when you look at this and you compare it to other products which you might not deem bad, the reason why that can have a bad impact on your teeth, or people have put the penny coins in the bowl of Coke and it cleans it, is because of the carbonated water. It's not because of the chemical substances within that. But the main benefit is that actually Diet Coke itself is 0 calories. So in contrast to its big brother, which has 139 calories in, of which 35 grams are sugar, there really is no contest. 35 grams of sugar is quite a phenomenal amount. Get your little scales out, or your food scales, and pour 39 grams of sugar, and effectively that is what you are ingesting in there. Original taste since 1886, helping people, dentists, stay in business since 1886 as well. But I think overall the main benefit is that if you do that in moderation and you're using it as a product because you like an additional flavour, you get bored with water, and that helps you maintain a low, healthy, balanced lifestyle, because you're not consuming calories, so you can eat more calories and free up your foods in other areas, perhaps even chocolate if you have a little penchant for chocolate, or if you have some other foods that you prefer. This can be a great way to get some good taste, something nice and sweet that doesn't actually ruin your diet and helps you keep your weight loss and your weight management under control.